Real sugar honey iced tea. I know it's really hard right now. And it's still so confusing. As to what life is. But no matter what, we should always be honest with ourselves. Always be in truth. No matter how much, no matter how negative or harsh it can be. It can be good too. Truth is good. That's why I created this real sugar honey iced tea. Because it's really more about truth. And of course, being real. And no one is really, honestly, in my opinion, no one pretty much could be as real as DMX. Showed us everything about himself. The good, bad, ugly, and the beautiful. It's not one to fake anything. Yeah, he's an actor. But off screen, I've never met DMX, unfortunately, but I know from what I've honestly gathered within the past, I would say, couple years, even though I have listened to his music, and of course he was part of my childhood too. The first song I've ever heard of as far as DMX was Get At Me Dog. And honestly, it was really Hype Williams, his creative vision, or it's really just how the video was, kind of just drew me, and then the music came after. And the Ruff Ryders anthem after that. Yeah, it's not pretty in a pretty nice and things like that. Of course, he was rough. Still was to the end. That's why I honestly took it upon myself even to even record this and say we should be as real as he was too. No matter how good or bad it may be. Most importantly, well, I guess I should say side note, even from reading his autobiography and, of course, watching like the interview with Telequality People's Party, Drink Champs, and the Ruff Ryder Chronicles. Even his beginning was similar to my father's. Just to be just the beginning, and also had multiple children. Well, my dad's 51. My father's 51. Hopefully he's okay. Um, I do love my father, and honestly, I would say DMX made me forgive my father even more. Because, of course, it wasn't entirely his fault. I, well, I know what it's like to have differences with mom. Of course, me and my mother, we still have differences, but I still love her. I still talk to her from time to time. Of course, just to check on her, see how she's doing. Honestly, for me, I felt so restricted from even expressing myself. It's like pretty much everyone in my family know I have like talent and all that. But the only thing pretty much they focus on is the fact that I have an autistic disorder and I have this. But of course, I digress to being real and of course how DMX was such a real person in every way. He could even express himself even through music. Yes, he was an actor, but he's not, he was not, I believe, like fake with people. Actually, I enjoyed the verses that he did with Snoop Dogg. And I could see where he was at in his life. Of course, you know, being DMX, and besides that, just being comfortable where he was at in his life right now, even with his size, I should say. I mean, his body size. And I've watched some interviews, of course, when they would mention his weight, especially when he, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. That's being real. You could be wrong. You don't know, even though you don't know stuff still. But anyways, I could be wrong. But it was when he got out of rehab, and he was heavier built, I should say. I don't know. And don't worry, I was heavy set once. Pretty much throughout my whole life. So look at my, if you look at my past pictures and search me up, you know. Just search Mahaiti. But old photos. But anyways, I could tell that DMX was more comfortable with himself and where he was at in his life right now. And I've seen some interviews where people would comment about it and ask if there's would be like a workout or something like that. Even though the thing I would now, of course, would be able to be comfortable with was the video he did with the locks. The new video he did with the locks. And of course the new music too. Which honestly, hopefully, in the right way, in what he would honestly, in, I was honestly hope he would like release. I hope his like family, or like those that those around them would release the new music, just really in the right way, and in a way where we we can all still honor his legacy and his truth. And video's gone long enough. I'll just leave it with this. I've read some reports that, which am not surprised at, but of course there's like scammers and people who make up stories, even about, I mean, it's even surrounding his music, his material, and Just anything he does, really. Anything he did, I should say. Ugh, man. Anyways, I'm not surprised that there will be those who tell lies. That's no surprise at all. Even when a person leaves this earth, there is a lot of room for people who make up lies and tell false stories. For gain, for clout, of course, just to flex. I'll say this and then I'll end this video. If, only if, there is no truth, I mean, if anything about DMX, I should say, if anything about DMX does not come from those that really knew him, his family, his closest friends, the Ruff Ryders, Tashera, Miss Tashera, Miss Desiree, or any of his children, if anything from DMX does not come from any of who I just named, I would say the same thing that he would say to those scammers or those who tell lies. If you ain't spitting the truth, then shut the fuck up. Fuck you. Suck my dick. You ain't really about shit. Real motherfucking talk. Real sugar honey iced tea. Salute DMX. Earl Simmons.